Violet here, second generation homeschooling mom of 3. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an infant. Today I wanted to share with you our daily flow and our chore setup. So let's get into it. So this year our routine did change a bit from what we were doing last year. I just saw some things that I wanted to tweak. And so I sat down and printed out this template from, it looks like calendarlabs.com. I just searched for a template with times, and then I kind of planned out how I envisioned the perfect day going. So we don't stick to these times 100%. We kind of flow a little bit with what we're doing that day, but in general, this kind of gives me an idea of where I want to be at each point in the day, which helps me keep everything on track and make adjustments as necessary. Because if you don't have a plan, you can't really figure out how to adjust the plan. At least I can't. So this really helps me kind of knowing where I'm supposed to be, and if we're running late, how much I'll need to adjust other things and all that. So I get up at 7, and my kids are usually already up and have been playing for a while. So I get up at 7 and I let them know that they have just a few minutes to wrap up or come to a stopping point in whatever they're doing. And then I start making breakfast, and they each have a chore that they have to do. So my daughter has to empty the dishwasher and put away all the dishes, and my son has to do some dusting. I have various dusting things. He kind of rotates through dusting baseboards, dusting bookshelves, dusting the furniture in his bedroom, dusting the furniture in my bedroom, that kind of thing. And I don't expect him to do a perfect 100% amazing job. He's 5, so he's still learning how to do all these kind of cleaning tasks, but I basically expect him to give me effort. I need to see that he is trying to dust kind of in the way that I've showed him how to. And if he misses spots and isn't perfect, that's fine. He'll get them next time. My goal with all of these cleaning tasks is it cleaner than what I was doing before, which was nothing? And if the answer is yes, we are good and we are moving on. As my kids get older, they'll get better at this stuff. We'll have more time. We'll figure out new cleaning routines. But in general, my baseline level for cleaning tasks is, can I tell somebody tried to clean here? Yes. All right, we're good. We're moving on. And then when they're done with those chores and I'm done making breakfast, I have them set their spots at the table with all the dishes that they need and everything, and then we sit down to eat. And so that first part, the breakfast and chores, takes about half an hour. It kind of depends upon how long it takes them to wrap up whatever playing they were doing. Lately, my kids have been really into board games. They kind of go through phases where they're really into board games and then they get burned out and they don't play any board games for a while. So they're back into board games now. So they've been playing a lot of board games in the morning. And so that takes a little bit longer to wrap up because they kind of want to get to the end of the round or the end of the game. And as long as we don't have an appointment we're trying to get to, I'm fine with giving them extra time to finish their board game. But ideally, on our perfect day, at 7:30, we're sitting down to eat, and we watch one educational TV show while we eat. Most of the things we watch take about 20 minutes. So ideally, by the end of those 20 minutes, my kids are mostly done eating. And so they know that when the TV show that we're watching ends, they have a few more minutes to kind of finish eating, take their last bites, make sure they're not hungry for like a banana or something extra. But then once they're done eating, they clear their spots, they put all their dirty dishes in the sink, they go wash their hands, and then they do their high five chores. I think high five chores is a concept that I got from Kayla from Ode to a Boat. I'll try to find the video and link it below. But essentially, for us at least, those high five chores are like the daily hygienic things that you need to do every day to be a clean person, basically. So make their beds, brush their teeth and hair, get dressed, and put their pajamas in the dirty clothes. And then there's 5 chores, and they get a high five when they are all done with them. And I made this little chart to help them remember which chores were part of that high five chores, which things they were supposed to be doing in the morning. So I have it posted in the bathroom and then also in their bedroom. So that helps them kind of keep track. They've been doing them for so long now that they don't really need this chart so much, but we still have it up just in case. And then the other thing that they have to do once they're done with their high five chores, they'll come and get their high five, and I'll remind them that they have to pick up anything that's on the floor of their bedroom. My husband got me a robot vacuum for Black Friday last year, or during like the Black Friday sales last year, and it's been amazing. This is the first time, the house that we're in now is a 1-story house. It's the first time we've ever lived in a 1-story house. And so the robot vacuum can go everywhere and vacuum up everything, but you need to pick up all the stuff on the floor. So that doesn't usually take my kids very long because they don't really have a ton, like their bedroom isn't huge and they share it. So there is a little bit of space to play in there, but usually they do all of their playing in the playroom. We have part of it blocked off so the baby can't interfere with their stuff, and then part of it's just open. So there usually is like maybe a stuffed animal fell out of their bed and they need to pick it up, or like there's a random library book on the floor, but it takes them hardly any time. And so then I'll send the robot vacuum to vacuum their bedroom, and then I've done the same thing in my bedroom, just checked that there's nothing on the floor. And so the robot vacuum will do the bedrooms while everybody's out starting school. And then once they're done with those chores, I usually give them a few extra minutes to play. Usually they came to a stopping point in whatever they're doing earlier, but didn't wrap it up. There's usually a little bit more that they want to do, and they know that if they do their chores quickly, I will give them some extra time. And so during this extra time that I give them to play, I am spending time with my infant. I usually read her 3 to 4 books and then play with her a little bit. I'm kind of filling her bucket so that when it's time for us to start school, she's content to just kind of come along for the ride, because I've already done a lot of interactive stuff with her. Hopefully, that's the idea. It's been working out pretty well so far, but she's also a very chill kid, so your mileage may vary. But in general, I always try to fill, the younger the kid, the sooner I try to fill their bucket. I think they have a harder time waiting. And so all of that takes about, ideally, half an hour. So then by 8:30, we're ready to start school. And I have my daughter start doing some independent stuff. And depending upon what she chooses to do first, I may have to help her get started, but then she can complete it independently. So what I've been doing for her is on her schedule. And I have a separate video where I go through this schedule that I'll link down below or up above or something. But I've highlighted the things that she can do either partially or completely independently. So if she chooses to start with math, I will go over the math lesson with her first, like do the teaching part of it, and then she can do the problems independently. Handwriting, reading, history, most of the rest of the stuff she can do completely independently. It's really just math that I have to teach her the lesson first. So she likes to start with math. So I'll usually teach her the lesson and then send her off to do her independent stuff. And then while she's doing that, I'll do my son's school. His school takes not that much time because he isn't doing that much. And the things he is doing, the lessons are pretty short. He's in kindergarten. So he does everyday math, phonics, handwriting. This fish tank is the book that he reads. I usually do that during our family subject times. That's not something that I have to do with him right then. Spelling is optional for him. Art and science are optional for him. But I just have them on the schedule because I'll forget to offer them to him if I don't have them written down in front of us. So he usually also starts with math, and we'll do math, and that takes about 15 minutes. Phonics takes about 15 minutes. French takes 2 minutes because he just is listening to some little books, and handwriting takes not very long, 2 or 3 minutes. And he'll take little breaks if he needs them. We do have a basement we have like one of those really small trampolines. So he'll go downstairs and jump on the trampoline 10 times or whatever and then come back up. That's kind of all the break he needs at this age. And my daughter will, when she finishes subjects, she'll come and let me know. And she's pretty good about telling me what she's up to without being super disruptive, which is not a skill every child has. So I am grateful that she's able to work semi-independently and kind of let me know if she has questions and things without totally disrupting the lessons that I'm doing with her brother. I will say that when she's working independently, I'm sitting at the kitchen table with my son and she's in the next room and I can see her. Like, it's not like she's off completely somewhere else. She's just sitting in a different room, but she can still see me. I can still see her. She'll wear her headphones sometimes if her brother's being loud so that she can kind of concentrate on what she's doing, but it doesn't feel like she's removed from us. She's just working on her own thing. Sometimes she'll sit at the kitchen table too, actually with us, and then just wear her headphones. But she has her own things to work on and she knows what they are. All right, so school. When we work on school, they take small breaks when they need it. If their breaks get too big, they get distracted and don't come back. So I try to keep them to like run downstairs and jump on the trampoline or run around 5 times or something like that, something to give them a break without getting totally derailed from school. At 10 a.m., we have a snack, and while my kids are having their snack, we do our family subjects. Last year, I was completely loosey-goosey with snacks. I just had my kids get a snack whenever they were feeling hungry, and the result of that, I was noticing by the time the year ended, was that my daughter never got snacks, and my son would eat 6 apples half an hour before I was going to cook lunch, and then he wouldn't be hungry for lunch, which apples are great, but they can't be 90% of what you eat. So this year, or this school year, I've started to do more scheduled snack time where we all come together and eat a snack together. This is partially in response to that and partially because now my infant is older. She's only taking one nap. So I have to feed her something substantial before she goes down for that nap, or she'll wake up early because she's hungry. So at 10 a.m. approximately, we all get together for a snack and we do our family subjects, which I did a video on them, so I'll link that. Except for our read aloud. I saved the read aloud for lunchtime. And then once we're done with that, they go off. My son is done with school by this point. Like, he's finished all of his stuff. My daughter usually still has things to work on. So now I can work on the things that I need to work on that she can't do independently. And I can also sit with her while she works on independent stuff. Now it's my time to do school with her. And then my daughter, my youngest daughter, my infant, goes down for her nap at 11. And so now my kids know that they have to do more quiet things, or if they want to be loud, they have to go down to the basement. And then we do lunch at noon, and I'll do the read. Once I've finished eating, my kids will still be eating. I'll do our read aloud. My infant's still napping. She usually gets up, kind of 3 p.m. is our second snack time, but that varies a little bit, kind of just based on whenever she wakes up and my kids are done with their screen time, then we'll have that second snack. I'll start my infant as soon as she wakes up because it's kind of really her lunch, and then the other kids will kind of filter in when they're done with whatever they're doing. So by the time we get to lunch, my kids are usually done with their school. My daughter sometimes will still have something to work on, like if it's a day that we're doing art, she might have the art project to finish or something like that. But in general, as long as we didn't start super late in the morning, they're both done by lunchtime. So then they have free time after that to do whatever they want. I do restrict screen time usage to after 2 p.m. just because last year I was letting my kids do screen time when they were done with school and they'd eaten lunch, and so they were rushing through lunch. So that plus like not having a strict snack time was just kind of eating in the middle of the day was getting all messed up, and then they were cranky in the afternoon and evening. So this year, screen time has to be after 2 p.m. That gives them plenty of time to finish up playing from earlier, gives my daughter time to finish school and then hang out a bit before they start screen time. And then starting screen time at 2 p.m., they only get an hour of screen time. This gives them enough time to get their screen time in before our second snack, which is theoretically at 3 p.m., although, like I said earlier, that varies a bit. And then after that, they still have free time. At 5, they're supposed to start picking up whatever they're doing, their toys and whatnot, because we try to pick up everything up and put it away at the end of the day. Because dinner is at 5:30. Obviously, this changes a bit. My kids are now, like, all their activities are starting, and because they're older school age, a lot of their activities are in the evenings, so dinner time and cleanup time ends up getting pushed around. But ideally, clean up their toys, and then they do dinner. And my husband's usually home by the time we do this cleanup, so he kind of takes charge of that, which is nice, because I've kind of already done a lot of cleaning up in the day. So then we do dinner. It takes about an hour-ish. It depends. And then after dinner, my kids do start their bedtime routine, and kind of woven into that bedtime routine is a family chore, which we all kind of work on together at different points during their bedtime routine. So basically, one kid is we only have one bathroom. So one kid is bathing, and the other kid and my husband and I are working on whatever the family chore is. And then when the bathing kid gets out, they work on the family chore, and the other kid gets in the tub. Essentially. And then they have other bedtime, like nighttime story and stuff like that. But the family chores vary. Like on Monday nights, we're cleaning up the schoolroom to get ready for starting school because we have co-op on Monday, so we don't do school subjects on Monday. A lot of the time it's laundry. We're always doing laundry. It's also personal hygiene stuff. Like we do fingernail Friday where everybody gets their fingers and toenails trimmed. Just because when I didn't have things like this scheduled, I was noticing that we're just going too long between clipping the kids' fingernails, and it's not good. So now we do fingernail Friday. But yeah, a lot of laundry, cleaning up the basement, kind of just whatever we notice. Thursday is fun chore Thursday, which my kids have informed me is not that fun. But basically, they get to choose a chore on Thursday. So they usually choose to wash the windows. They really like using the Windex like spray bottle type thing and cleaning all the windows. That is not a chore that I feel like needs to get done every week. But I did want to have at least one day where they got to do a chore that they thought was more fun. They used to be obsessed with mopping, and so they would mop for their fun chore Thursday. And then if they have extra time, if they've done all of that kind of dinner, bedtime routine, chores, everything quickly enough, if they have extra time, they can do quiet reading until their bedtime. And my son's bedtime is 7:30 and my daughter's bedtime is 8. That's our ideal flow and kind of how we deal with chores and cleaning up right now at this stage. I feel like every time my kids get a little bit older, we have to completely readjust. But this is where we're at right now. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below how your family deals with chores and kind of setting up a routine. I hope you found this helpful. That's all I have for this. Thank you for watching.